Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andy, and today we have the end of the month reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. Welcome guys. Hope you guys are doing really good. So this is going to be aimed specifically for January 20th through the 31st. Excuse me. It's a little too loud. Okay, it's still too loud. So this is going to be specifically aimed for January 20th through the 31st. If you are watching this outside of that timeline, I do still think that these messages can resonate for you. So regardless of what the time it is that you're watching it, you're here for a reason, I'm assuming. So there is going to be something that you're here for. Nothing happens on accident. There is no such thing as coincidences. So let's get into it. So focusing on January 20th through the 31st, remember that these are general readings, Sag, so it may resonate, it may not resonate with you. And yeah, don't get upset about something I say. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Alrighty. So for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for January 20th through the 31st, 2020. What is Sag experiencing January 20th through the 31st? What's going on the 20th through the 31st January? Let's see, for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Alright, so your overall energy is the Two of Swords in reverse. I feel like you guys are finally going to be able to admit something to yourselves. You're going to be able to take action on something, clarified by Judgment and the Moon. Big major arcana cards. Judgment is in reverse. Something's really telling me, I do read reversals. It's just that something's really telling me that I should put it in the upright. So I'm actually going to take that in the upright. I'm going to listen to myself. So Judgment in the upright, the Moon in the upright to clarify the situation. And then moving forward, coming out of this, what is the outcome? So what is this leading up to? This is leading up to the situation is leading up to the King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. All right, in the outcome position. Okay, let's dive into this. So Sagittarius, your overall crowning energy, both internal and external, is going to be the Two of Swords in reverse. So like I said, January 20th through the 31st, around this time and moving forward, could be a period of time where you're finally going to be able to admit some truth to yourself, okay? Especially paired with Judgment. So Judgment is judgment call. It's judgment time. It's time to make a decision. It's time to do something about the thing that you've been avoiding. It's time to make up your mind about something that may have been very difficult for you to make up your mind, okay? So I'm getting that this is something that you've thought about for a while. For me personally, I've really been wanting to move. I've really been wanting to change careers. I've really been wanting to do a lot of things that I have yet to actually finally make a decision about. And I think that's what's being called. It's called for you to make a decision about something that you have been postponing making a decision about. Because I feel like you guys think about it and then you try to factor in all these things like, oh, but what if this happens? What if this happens? What if it just worked out here? What if we work out? Whatever it is that you're dealing with, it's almost like you play a game with yourself where you try to, I don't know. I'm gonna share, for me personally, I get this urge every once in a while to just uproot everything, move, leave, transform, change, run away from my problems, etc., etc. And I've noticed that that's been a cycle. So lately, when I get that urge, I've been trying to tell myself that I should just stay with it. But I'm also like, because I ask myself, am I just wanting to move? Am I just wanting to change just because it's easier to run away? It's easier to start anew rather than to try to stay committed in one place or with one job or with one person. Because for me personally, that is something that's very difficult, and that has a lot to do with my childhood, with moving around a lot when I was younger. We moved around a lot. So after about a year or two, I get really antsy being in one place for too long, or with one person or with one job for too long, because I'm not used to, I grew up with the lifestyle of not being accustomed to things, people, places sticking around for longer than a year or two or three. You know what I'm saying? Because I moved around a lot growing up. So I'm just not used to being in one area or with one job or with one person or with one group of friends for very long. I feel like after a while, I feel like I have to move on. Just in my nature, it tells me that, okay? And then also, aside from that, being a Sagittarius, it's tough, right? So I feel like there's going to be some truth that you need to admit to yourself. There's a decision that you need to make. And then we have the Moon. So I feel like this is going to be a decision where you have to make regardless of if you have all the information or not, okay? And I don't know if that will bug some of you or not, but I feel like you need to listen to your intuition, I think, more than to what's happening around you, because I feel like even if you're looking at what's happening around you, for whatever reason, whatever situation this is dealing with, and it could be dealing with a person because this is the outcome it's leading to. So So it could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio that you're dealing with. It's almost like you need to make a decision based on how you feel versus what's actually happening. Because I feel like if you look at what's actually happening, I feel like nothing's really happening, so there's no information to be gathered from nothingness, right? And a lot of you are like, well, them not talking to me, that's me knowing, that's giving me an answer. You know, them not giving me an answer is an answer. I'm like, okay, if you want to think that way, awesome for you. But I also want to say that there are probably periods and moments in your life where you go radio silent on people, and it doesn't really mean very much other than you just going radio silent on people. I'm just going to say that, so take that as you want to take it. I just feel that there's a lot more to the situation with the moon here, always telling me that there's more information that is going to be illuminated, and you might actually be able to, if maybe like you need to make a decision on to reach out to someone or to talk to someone again, maybe that's the decision you need to make, and maybe it's through that. Maybe it's just reaching out and asking, hey, what's wrong? What's up? Why haven't we talked? Can we talk? I think it's actually through that you'll actually gain a lot of information, because the moon is talking about things in the shadows, secrets being hidden, things being kept from you are being illuminated. So from January 20th through the 31st, there's going to be some type of illumination in something that you didn't know otherwise. And I feel for a lot of us, it's specifically pertaining to an individual, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, because this is what it's leading up to. It's leading up to the interaction, I feel like, with this individual, the interaction with this water sign individual. And I feel like this person is just someone that's very emotional. I feel like this person cares a lot about you. I feel like this person deeply cares about you, but they do not express it. They're not expressive of it, or they have not been expressive of it. And I think that that could be one of the big things that could be coming out towards the end of this month, that this person might, like I said, if you make the judgment call to accept this, or to be open to the idea of this connection, or to confront this person, or to ask them, or to reignite something with this person, or to just reconcile with this person, I'm getting that they might express these deep feelings that they have for you, or something else. They might express something that you didn't know, some information that they've never expressed to you before. They may be expressing it towards the end of this month, and you may have this connection again with this individual, I feel. If it's not pertaining to an individual, I feel like you guys are going to be able to express your emotions or your feelings within just yourself. You're going to be feeling very emotionally stable towards the end of the month, emotionally secure in how you feel with yourself, how you feel towards the things that you're doing. And there might be just some decision that you need to make. Maybe it's just you having a solid plan, because Sagittarius don't like to plan because we don't like to settle down and commit. But maybe you're at a point in your life where you do need a little bit of planning. And I think I talked about this in your overall January monthly reading, was that you need maybe a little bit of planning wouldn't be a bad idea. It could be that if you just plan a little bit, you'll feel more emotionally stable and emotionally sound, and it'll kind of rid you of this like antsy, I want to get away, I want to escape energy that you kind of take on every once in a while. And I hope that's not just me. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what is the lesson that January brought? What was the lesson that January brought for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements? What is the lesson to be learned here? What is the lesson to be learned here? What is the lesson to be learned here? Two more. What is the lesson to be learned? So for January, what was the lesson that the universe is presenting Sagittarius with? What do we have the opportunity to learn? We have an opportunity to learn a lesson in discontentment and boredom. So, Four of Cups. So we have, the universe is giving you an opportunity to be able to not settle. I honestly feel like, I know I just said like you guys need to plan a little bit. It doesn't mean that you have to settle for less. It just means that you should always have a plan. You get what I'm saying? Don't settle for less. But even if you're like, let's say being committed in a job or in a relationship, that you kind of have things planned out of how things could go, or how things should go, because we don't want to set expectations, but how things could go, or maybe even having a backup plan. You know, what if this doesn't work out? Because I feel like Sagittarius love to take risks, major gamblers in life. And that's awesome, and I love that. I do love that about myself, but sometimes it does get me in situations where, like, I not even that I want to get out of it, I have to get out of it, and I don't really have an escape route. Does that make sense? I feel like Sagittarius jump or dive into situations without having an escape plan. It's always good to have one just in case you can find yourself in some situation where you don't want to be anymore, and you need to have a realistic option on how to get out of it. You can't just up and leave and randomly don't show up to work. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do things like that. You can't keep doing things like that. And if you want to, go for it, but I don't think that that is necessarily the healthiest way to go about your life. The reason why this is talking about discontentment and boredom, and this is why this is the biggest lesson for you to learn, is to stop putting yourself in situations that you know don't make you happy, if that makes sense. I feel like you're a sign that is very easygoing, very, very free-spirited, and you like to go and to be and to do whatever and whoever you want. But stop putting yourself in situations that are boring to you. Stop putting yourself in situations that you're discontent in, okay? That's the biggest lesson for you to learn in. And that has a lot to do with the way that you're feeling. That, are you really bored with where you're at, or are you just bored with the way that you're viewing things? Maybe your perspective is one of the biggest things that need to change. I feel like a lot of the way that you're viewing certain aspects of your life, you're viewing it like it's do or die. You're viewing it like, oh my God, if I stay, I'm gonna have to be here forever. Just because you're committed in one place, just because you stay with one person or you stay with one job for a while, it doesn't mean that you're closed off to other people. It doesn't mean that you're closed off to other jobs. It doesn't mean that you're closed off to other places, other opportunities. It just means that you're where you're at right now, and that's what it is. It doesn't mean that you can never travel. It doesn't mean that you can never change or go anywhere. And what would actually maybe even help you not feel this way is if you did have an escape plan. Because for me, I would take comfort. I'd be like, well, if I change my mind, I can do this. I have my escape plan. If I change my mind, I have an escape route. So maybe having that backup plan would actually give you a little bit more confidence and reassurance going into new situations that are more committal, just so that you know that there is a correct way to break away from this. Don't ghost people, don't run away from your job, don't just up and leave. Make sure you do everything correctly by having conversations with people and telling people how you honestly feel. Maybe even just talking about you being bored in certain situations is a lesson, is to stop just keeping it to yourself. Don't be bored and keep it to yourself. That's even worse. Alrighty, so from the angels that guide, watch over, and protect Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, what is the message from the angels? The angels that guide, watch over, and protect Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the message that they want to share from the angels? Okay. Oh, we have child. Oh, this is going to make me cry. So we have child. You care deeply about children, and they readily respond to your love. All children, including your own inner child, require love, affection, and attention. We can clear and open your heart and schedule so that you can give more time and energy to the children who need you. Some of you may work with children and you feel like maybe you haven't been focusing on them so much. You could be a teacher, anything of the sort. For those of you that have children, whether that's here in the physical plane or you believe that you have a child on the metaphysical plane, meaning that they're just energetically around you, or they could have passed away, they're just not physically here, this is a message for you to know that they are safe. Your angels want you to know that they're safe, that they're protected, they're loved, they know that you love them. A lot of this has to do with your inner child. So I think I shared a little bit that I have some, or maybe this was in the Scorpio reading, but I was sharing how a lot of my issues, this was in this video, sorry. I've been filming all day, so they're all mixing up. I was talking about earlier how a lot of my issues, my committal issues, have to do with me growing up and moving from place to place to place so frequently. So I'm not used to being in one place for too long, okay? So that is part of my inner child that I need to heal and need to work on, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to even discern that that's where it comes from. I know that there's still more healing to be done, obviously, for me, because I'm still not over that phase, but your angels want you to know that your inner child, whatever part of you is hurt or traumatized that brings up issues into your adult life, that that inner child of you is safe now. You know, maybe when growing up you didn't feel safe in your family environment, or you didn't feel safe growing up in whatever situations you were dealing with. You are safe now, and that's what matters. You need to look at your inner child. There's a lot of really deep and powerful healing meditations and transformation that can come from talking to your inner child, almost envisioning and visualizing that you're looking at your your younger self from years ago and giving them a hug and telling them that you're safe, you're protected, and you're safe, and I love you. Even if people didn't love you when you were growing up, even if your family didn't protect you and love you and care for you in the way that you should have been, I love you and I care for you and I will protect you now moving forward. And there's something really healing and powerful about that, about talking to your inner child and accepting your inner child for who they are and loving them and nurturing them. And it allows you to be more free-spirited, I feel like, in that way. Be more childlike and have fun and bring back more of that innocence into your life that I feel like is desperately needed in this situation. Because I feel like there's part of you that is very free-spirited, but you also take yourself very seriously. You take your actions very, very seriously. Things need to be a little bit more go with the flow, Sag, okay? So that was your reading. I hope it resonated with you, and I hope it helps you in any way, shape, or form. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can send me an email, and that is going to be down in the description box down below. We can talk about pricing and how I work. I offer my sessions live over Skype or Zoom, as well as pre-recorded videos that get sent to you via a private link. So again, if you want to book a personal reading with me, send me an email. That's down below in the description box. I hope that you have a great rest of your January and getting ready for February, transitioning into Aquarius season. Awesome season for Sag. A lot about honesty and a lot of shedding of ego and being more authentic to ourselves. So we're going to be seeing a lot more people moving forward for the rest of this year, acting out of integrity, being more authentic, which is something that I know all Sag can appreciate. So I feel like there's going to be a lot less people wasting our time moving forward. So yeah, make the decision that you need to make. I feel like you guys will. This antsy energy, again, be honest with yourself, make the decisions you need to make. There is something that's going to be illuminated for you guys very, very soon, and maybe possibly a reconciliation with a water sign individual. Alrighty, Sag, good luck to you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.